Welcome back to Counseling Sessions with Dr. Kelley, where real people ask real questions about faith, relationships, family, purpose, culture, and everyday life. Here's today's question. Dear Dr. Kelley, someone I was extremely close to hurt me deeply. They lied to me, betrayed my trust, talked about me behind my back, and when I confronted them, they blamed me instead of taking responsibility. It took me a long time, but I finally got to a place where I could honestly say I forgave them. Now they want to come back into my life. They keep telling me that because I'm a Christian, if I really forgave them, I should be willing to start over and treat everything like it never happened. That doesn't feel right to me. I'm not angry anymore. I don't hate them. I genuinely want them to do well, but I also don't trust them. Can I forgive somebody and still decide they no longer get the same access to me? Or does real forgiveness mean I have to let them back in? Signed, I forgave you, but I remember. Oh, this is a good one. Because somewhere along the way, we started confusing forgiveness with access, and they are not the same thing. Let me give you the answer right up front. Yes, you can forgive somebody and still change their access to your life. Forgiveness does not require amnesia. Forgiveness does not mean pretending it didn't happen. And forgiveness certainly does not mean putting yourself back into the exact environment that wounded you. See, here's where we've got to grow up spiritually. Forgiveness is about what I release. Trust is about what you rebuild. Those are two completely different processes. I can forgive you today, but trust may take 6 months. Trust may take 6 years. And depending on what happened, the relationship may never return to what it was. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm bitter. That may mean I've learned. Because sometimes we use Christianity to pressure people into tolerating behavior that wisdom is telling them to stop accepting. Well, if you were really saved, you'd forgive me. I did forgive you. Then why can't things go back to normal? Because normal was dysfunctional. That's what got us here. Come on. Sometimes going back to normal is the worst thing you can do. You don't need the old normal. You need a new healthy. And let me say this because somebody needs to hear it. An apology does not automatically restore access, especially when the apology is not accompanied by changed behavior. I'm sorry is a sentence. Repentance is a pattern. If you're really sorry, eventually I ought to be able to see something different. Accountability, humility, consistency, change behavior, because anybody can cry when they're facing consequences. The question is whether they'll change when the consequences are gone. And here's another thing. Boundaries are not punishment. Boundaries are information. A boundary says, I have learned what happens when I give this level of access without this level of accountability. That's wisdom. Now you've got to check your heart too, because sometimes we call something a boundary when it's actually revenge. If you're secretly hoping they suffer, if you're constantly bringing up what they did, if you're using silence to manipulate them, if you're trying to make them hurt because they hurt you, that's not a boundary, that's retaliation. And we've got to be honest enough to know the difference. A healthy boundary doesn't say, I want to hurt you. A healthy boundary says, I refuse to keep hurting myself. That's different. Now here's where discernment comes in. Some relationships can be restored, and when genuine repentance, accountability, healing, and consistency are present, reconciliation can be beautiful. Families can heal, friendships can recover, marriages can rebuild. People can change, I believe that. But reconciliation requires participation from both sides. You cannot reconcile with somebody who refuses responsibility. You cannot rebuild trust with somebody committed to deception. And you cannot create a healthy relationship with somebody who thinks your boundary is the problem instead of their behavior. Sometimes forgiveness leads to reconciliation, and sometimes forgiveness leads to peaceful separation. Both can be healing, because there are people I can genuinely love, pray for, wish well, and still understand you cannot occupy the same seat in my life anymore. And that's okay. Everybody doesn't deserve front row access simply because they once had it. Your heart can remain open while your door remains guarded. That's not hatred, that's discernment. Forgiveness is free, trust is earned, and access is a privilege. Forgive because you deserve freedom from carrying bitterness. But don't confuse having a clean heart with having no boundaries. You can say, I forgive you, I love you, I genuinely want the best for you, and still say, but our relationship cannot continue the way it did before. That's not unforgiveness. Sometimes that's wisdom. I'm Dr. Kelley, and this has been another counseling session. If you've got a question you've been afraid to ask out loud, faith, relationships, marriage, family, church, money, culture, purpose, or just plain old life, send it in. Real questions, real counsel, real answers. And until next time, forgive freely, love deeply, but give access wisely.